What's up, my name is Jay, and welcome to what I like to call a filler episode or moment where I will be taking this quiz so y'all get to know me better. And it's titled What's Your True Generation? Says measure your values and beliefs to discover what era suits you best. Now, I just honestly decided to do this because I was like, you know what? I need I feel like there needs to be a break in between the gameplays that I've been giving you that about action, storytelling and that stuff. I decided to make this a thing, something that doesn't really matter too much. It's basically to like filler, but it's great to know, basically. I did try to do it with another type of quiz, but here's the thing: it was actually a game and a quiz at the same time, but the results of it weren't weren't really that. It was underwhelming. I'm gonna say that. So yeah, this one is actually gonna mean something and be a lot more than like what I took. I am not gonna name the type of game it was, but it involved decisions that basically didn't really, I'll say this, matter to a point where you get an achievement, something like that. Basically, just it's like you just took the quiz and moved on. That's really it. So I decided to do something like this instead. This time is actually meaningful and you know it actually matters. So yeah, so 6 million or 6 million people test taken this year. Okay. Ever feel like you were born in the wrong generation? This test reveals your true generation based on how well your values and attitudes match up with the profile of each living generation. Gen Z, Millennial, Gen X, Baby Boomer, and the Silent Generation. Okay, so if I can get rid of this ad, that'd be great. Leave me alone. I don't want to buy anything. Okay, first question. How often, how often, I often eat foods. I often eat foods that I know are not healthy for me. Uh, I'm gonna say it's accurate in a good way. Being actively involved in my community is important to me. Hmm. Let me think. Being involved in my community, actively involved in my community is important to me. Uh, I'm gonna say neutral. I frequently set long-term goals and work steady towards achieving them. Stop showing me ads. I will say here this or this. I'ma say it is agree. Next question. Living in the moment is most important to me than planning for the future. Uh, I'ma say agree because honestly, I do live in the moment when whenever the moment is, special, but it's not entirely me. I do plan for future goals and stuff, but it's not my entire personality in general. It's basically more of like a 70 to 80%, but it's not entirely. I I know to just do things for the fun of it and not have to worry about future problems or future events in my life. Next question. Being unique and different from others is something I take pride in. That's right. Completely accurate. Next question. I am careful not to get emotional in front of others. Absolutely. because people do not need to see. Pe- People don't. The thing is, I feel like you shouldn't wear your heart on your sleeve all the time because even though I say this, it's more of the fact that if they see you act out, then like they can probably take advantage of that in the future. So it's best to be not not stoic, but emotionally aware, but don't lash out. Say it like that. Next question. Change often brings more problems than solutions. Completely inaccurate of me. Completely inaccurate. Okay, did I do everything? Yep. Next page. Okay. First question on step two. I believe time honored traditions should be preserved. You know what? I'll be neutral about it because honestly, it doesn't really. Traditions don't really have an impact on my life that much, honestly. So I'm gonna just be neutral about it. I plan my finances with long-term goals in mind. Let me think. I plan my finances with long-term goals in mind. I'm gonna say agree, but it's not my entire life. So it's basically again like 2/3 of my life. I'm gonna say that. So okay, I am skeptical of new technologies and prefer traditional methods. I'm gonna say okay, new technologies. Let me think of some examples. Sorry, got some. Skeptical is not the word I'll say. I'm gonna say concerned of new technologies that really should not be made to begin with. I'm gonna say that. So I'm gonna say neutral. Next question: is it important to me that other people like me? Completely inaccurate. It's their opinion. I'm usually the first among people to try out new innovations. Neutral. Conforming to social norms is not important to me. Very accurate. I feel comfortable sharing my emotions openly with others. You know what? I'm gonna say accurate. I'm gonna say accurate. I just know who who to share with and who not to be completely open with. As simple as that. I often feel like I don't fit in with people around me. Honestly, I'm neutral because I don't really like focus on that too much because it's just not something that I just worry about. Next part, step three out of four. First question of that. Often find myself defending the way things have always been done. Let me think. Have I ever did anything like that in my life? Let me think. I often find myself defending the way things have always been done. I'm gonna say inaccurate. Next question. I like being part of a group. Neutral. In social situations, I tend to keep my emotions to myself. This one is, let me see, read it again. In social situations, I tend to keep my emotions to myself. I'm gonna say inaccurate. Career advancement and future success are always on my mind. I'm gonna say agree, but not to the extreme. This question: I am spontaneous and often do things without planning beforehand. Uh, Neutral. I'm saying neutral. Often, often volunteer for activities that involve helping others. That is gonna have to be accurate. I often act on a whim without fully considering the consequences. Completely inaccurate. Receiving public knowledge and the object for my work is highly motivating. You know what? To an extent, yes, it is something that I actually consider. I'll think about sometimes. I am often concerned about being perceived as different or unusual. Completely inaccurate. Final test. Okay, demographic survey. Demographic, yeah. We're currently studying how your generation may relate to your opinion on key issues. Participate in the research. Please answer the questions below. The questions on this page are optional and do not change. Okay, let me look at these questions right quick. And these questions are optional. Get my results. Let's go. Dang, I'm like a generation behind. My true generation is millennial. Adulting is hard, but self-awareness is goals. AF. Wow. Like millennials, I'm a competitive, socially conscious idealist. Okay, the reasons why I belong in the millennial generation is I'm competitive, social, idealistic, with an unflappable sense of confidence and ability to tell right from wrong. You are most aligned with the millennial generation. Millennials describes everyone born between 1980 and 1996. Millennials value teamwork and civic engagement while also championing Gen X lead causes like healthy work-life balance and diversity. The first generation growing up with the internet, millennials are unique to their collective values, leading mass movements centered around majority of lesser voice feel like Black Lives Matter, LGBT rights, general literature describing it as optimistic, open-minded, achievement-oriented, and sensitive. In research, millennials exhibited strong perceptions of uniqueness coupled with surprising adherence to traditional values. This counterintuitive combination of traits points toward the millennials' distinctive blend of progressive activism and deep-rooted cultural values. Okay, and a quote that basically, I guess, is about millennials is the question is, what do we want to know about people? the question isn't what do we want to know about people, it's what do people want to tell about themselves. Hmm. Okay. Dang. Okay. Dang. Dang. I am mostly aligned with, well, first is millennial, obviously, and next is Gen X, and then Gen Z. That is crazy. That is crazy. Let me see what the Gen X generation is about. Gen X is independent, information, no further rejection of social norms. They have made strides in the workplace, fighting for work. Advancement also known for being evangelist, informed, and skeptical. The analysts have revealed that it is distinctively expressive, emotionally, the supporting their reputation for open communication, sitting on our assignment. Gen Xers are simply more likely to agree with a statement conforming to social norms, and that points me on underscoring this generation's diversity in self-expression and character. Hmm. Dang. Okay. Well, that's it. So, even though I was born in the early 2000s, like 2003, but this is really something. So Gen Z is like, wait, actually, I'm wrong. Hold up. Actually, so I'm really looking at this now, and Gen Z is actually the fourth rank of what I am through personality, well, in generation. It's millennial, then Gen X, then Boomer, then Gen Z. That is hilarious. So basically, am I a paradox? If I am, then I take this title very important. Yeah, but okay. Good to know. Good to that is something else. So now that just makes me even more unique, I guess. So, but yeah, that is the end of the video. I post videos once a week, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.